It's not in my nature. Yes, she was. Candles burning, tablecloth practically ablaze. It's a good job I came in when I did.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I have been in rehab with some chronic alcoholics, but even I was like, wow.
Tracy, show Cassie some respect.
Oh, thank you, Ken. I really appreciate that. Because when you think about it, I've saved lives today. Just call me the 4th emergency service.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
Hello and welcome to episode 381 of the Talk of the Street, an unofficial Coronation Street catch-up podcast that reckons that the detective inspector at Wedding Nick really should have his daughter's socials locked down better. I'm Gavin.
And I agree with Ruby. This week is cringe.
Cringe and clapped,
Yes.
which I think is short for clapped out.
Or having the clap.
I don't know. I think more likely clapped out than having some kind of sexually transmitted disease.
Yes. Gen Z doesn't have enough sex to be getting diseases.
You and your generational stereotypes, Ellen. What are you like? That's so Gen X of you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. It's getting cold.
It is getting cold. It was freezing, literally, when I was driving to work yesterday.
Yeah.
Freezing.
Yeah. I got up, I got coffee, I went back to bed
Yeah.
to stay warm and read a book.
Yeah, I discovered that my tyres aren't quite fit for the conditions.
Yikes.
This morning when it was raining, bucketing down with rain,
Was it raining this morning?
just a wee bit.
I noticed it was damp.
Yeah, that's why it was raining. As I was driving to work at 6:50 this morning.
Oh,
Such a hard wee worker.
you are.
Nobody notices.
I do. And I appreciate it because it means that I can get up, get my coffee, and go back to bed. And scrub the toilets later.
Hey,
Yay!
well, that's just a fun-packed day, isn't it?
It is.
We've got the house to ourselves.
We do. We've had the house to ourselves all week. We'll have the house to ourselves, I think, until like Sunday morning. They start to leave tomorrow,
Okay,
which means they'll get home Sunday-ish.
24 hours on a bus.
24 hours on a bus. They have a DVD player
On the bus?
on the bus. She took Shrek 2 and Cars with her.
Oh, so they play it for everyone on the bus?
Yeah.
The buses didn't look that great.
I mean,
I was expecting a luxury coach. You know, the sort of coaches that Premiership footballers get.
it's a public school.
It didn't look like that.
It's not a school bus,
was
thank
better than a
God.
school
It's better
bus.
than a school bus.
She said she wouldn't go. She's in Disneyland. Although I think
Disney
she's
World. Disneyland's in California.
although she was in Universal today.
Was she? Mm-hmm. She was around some Simpsons merch today, which is Disney World, and she's been to Epcot, and she's played at Disney World. She's played her wee trombone.
Her slide trombone. That's what she did at Disney.
That's exactly what she did at Disney.
Cheer the fuck up.
Yeah, it's hilarious. She had fun. She got her picture taken with Donald Duck, who's still not wearing any pants.
If I change the habits of a lifetime. Duck penises are quite the sight to behold as well.
They're corkscrews.
They are, yeah.
Yeah, and barbed.
Oh, ducks.
It's horrific.
It really is.
Yeah, duck mating season is horrific. Be lucky that you don't live around ducks, gentle listeners. Unless you do live around ducks. People complain about the geese. It's the ducks that are worse.
I don't know anything about geese penises. Or Guinnesses, if you like. I would imagine they'd be roughly the same.
Don't think so.
Same kind of family, though, isn't it? Floating birds.
Right.
Floating birds must have the
Floating
same.
birds.
Must have the same.
I feel like geese mate for life. So they have
Ducks
that
just
going
for
for them.
Christmas.
Yes, ducks are in their cupping era. It's cupping era, right?
I don't know. I feel like we've led us down a path from which there is no escape. So, shall we move on to our preamble, my dear?
Wait, how was your week?
Yeah. Give us some of that savage Corrie news. Your phone case, madam, is falling to pieces.
It is. You need to buy me a new one.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's horrible.
It's floppy.
It shouldn't be floppy.
It shouldn't be floppy.
That's what she said.
It's only floppy on the side, which is also what she said.
Anyway, you have some Corrie news?
Yes, hold on. I forgot I needed
It's no rush.
to.
Take all the time you need.
You can edit out dead air. It's fine. Okay. London indie band Sports Team's latest album includes a song called Moving Together, which samples the Coronation Street theme song.
Oh,
They talked about it last week on the podcast World Cafe, saying it was difficult to acquire the rights to use the song whose owner is not actually ITV. They said it's some guy in California, which sounds about
what?
right.
Really?
Now, let's see if...
We should talk over this. Otherwise, we'll end up getting demonetized
Do- do-
ourselves.
do
We
you
get
hear
the
it?
idea. Yes, we get the idea. You can stop that now.
It's cool, though, isn't it?
Our theme tune is very much a German techno version
Yes.
of the theme tune.
Yes.
So they could have used that for free. I'm surprised they didn't.
Maybe for their next album. Maybe for their next album, because they're from London, they'll use the London meme.
I wonder who owns the rights then.
I don't know. They were kind of...
So it wasn't commissioned for the show then.
They weren't specific, but they were talking about how it was a pain in the neck to get the rights because they thought it was ITV and it wasn't ITV, which is weird, but also makes a lot of sense because, you know, these people, they just like
These people.
buy the rights for things and then...
Oh, I'm surprised that it's not the estate of Michael Jackson that owns it.
Right. Yes. Well,
Maybe it is.
maybe it is. Who knows?
No, this was on NPR, wasn't it?
Yes. On World Cafe on NPR.
A strange world.
And the host knew what Coronation Street was, which, you know, boggled my mind. But there are other people in America who know what Coronation Street is.
Yeah.
It's not just us. Beverly Callard will be appearing on the show Help! My House is Haunted in her 19th century home. Apparently, while filming, Callard had a seizure due to what she termed a possession. She was possessed, which caused a seizure
She's a new
in the
Derek
house.
Pecora.
Yes.
Betty!
I want to hear Beverly Callard say, Mary loves Dick.
No, let's...
Mary
I was about to say something uncharitable
loves Dick.
based on Lizzie's character. But I stopped myself because I'm growing.
Yes. In more ways than one. Yeah. I didn't realize Help! My House is Haunted was a show, but of
I had
course
no
it
idea
is.
it was a thing.
Of course it is. Apparently one of the EastEnders people was on it like last season, so... Because it's a British show, so...
No kidding.
It's a very small island. Anyway. And finally, Amy Robbins, our Christina, has said she was thinking of giving up acting when she got the call to reprise her role as Christina. Although she says kissing Tony Maudsley's George is like kissing her brother.
Lovely stuff.
Which made me laugh because we just watched Back to the Future on the big screen, in which famously she realizes kissing Calvin Klein is like kissing her brother, and she doesn't understand why.
Yeah.
And that's Corrie News.
What a smorgasbord of Corrie facts and news items.
Yes.
Ellen, thank you.
You are welcome.
Curated for our pleasure.
Yes. That's what I'm here for.
We will move
Your
on
pleasure.
to the feedback section that I like to call Everyone's a Critic.
physical mail.
What?
Physical mail.
Physical mail?
We've got physical mail, Helen.
Woo!
Now, as is our wont, we pass over to you to take care of the physical mail.
Oh, this is a postcard from the lovely state of Oregon, which is a state we will be traveling to at some point.
Go Owls.
Because we have to. Oregon and Nevada, and then we're both done with the continental United States.
Oh, I think it's ducks in Oregon, isn't it?
It's probably owls as well.
No, I think it's the Oregon ducks, I think. All comes back to ducks.
In Oregon, they like to put a bird on it, famously. Little Portlandia joke there for you. Hello from my home state. Thank you for sharing your ideas and smiles. I look forward to Friday at midnight, in parentheses, if I'm awake, to join the circle. With appreciation, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle.
How lovely.
I was just saying, we do have people who listen to the podcast and watch Coronation Street in the United States, and she's just proven it.
Just proving it.
Just proven
From
it.
Oregon.
From Oregon.
That's way over on the other side.
Yes, that's near Washington, where my brother lives.
And California, where lots of people live.
Or-
including the rights holder to the...
Coronation Street
Coronation
theme,
Street theme,
somehow. My first ex-husband lives in Oregon. So we do know somebody who's in Oregon.
One in every state.
One
Ladies and
in
gentlemen, that's what I'm
I've
gonna
been
do.
everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. What do we have over there? I
Well-
see a large box that used to hold an air purifier, maybe?
Hold on, I have to bend over.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez. It's not that heavy, honestly. Oh.
Ooh, and what is in this box? Oh my goodness. A packet of Tim Tams. And oh my God, finally, one of our listeners has heard us. And I have 4 bags of Lay's ketchup chips for my culinary pleasure.
Let's make a note to really open it live on the podcast next time.
You shush. These were $2.50 in the great country of Canada.
There was Tim Tams as well.
Fabrique au Canada.
There's Tim Tams as well.
There's not anymore.
Are we pretending that we opened it or are we not?
I said Tim Tams first. Didn't you hear me?
Yes, but
I said, ooh,
but
there's
I
a
didn't
packet of
believe.
Tim Tams.
But I didn't believe
Oh, would
you
you-
selling it.
All right, Scorsese.
Okay, so the truth of the matter is that we opened them several days ago and have eaten most of it. So much for the illusion
You shush.
of show business.
People would have believed. People would have believed because they're not sitting across from me at the moment. All right. We have this lovely card. It's got a rose on the front with some glitter. But fortunately, this time, the glitter is stuck to the card, so it's not going to be all over my face for the rest of the week.
Oh, well, we'll see about that. That is excellent, though, that we've just wished ketchup chips
Into existence.
into existence,
Yes.
and there they are.
And chocolates. Helen and Gavin.
That's me.
I live in Monroe, Michigan, and went to
That's just down the road.
up the road,
Down the road.
across the road,
Down the road. It's on the Ohio border.
and went to Windsor for the day. Brought back some chips, in parentheses, crisps, for you. Also, Tim Tams are at Costco.
What?
So I guess we have to renew our Costco membership.
Oh, my best friend Brandon at work keeps on going on at me about Costco. Everything that he gets is from Costco.
It would help our toilet paper situation because we never remember to buy toilet paper.
Oh, God, I forgot to get that again this week.
I was just thinking that about 10 minutes ago, yeah.
Pig's tits.
We've just been so traumatized by the pandemic about toilet paper that we just forget about its existence until we really need it. Sending love to your family. Enjoy. Love, Granny. P.S. I love your podcast.
Oh, that's absolutely delightful.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Granny, whose real name is on the box.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll just keep it at that.
We'll just keep it at Granny.
We enjoyed the chips.
Yes, we did.
we still have a packet. We still have genuinely one packet left to go that I kept for sound effect purposes, but... All right.
Fabrique in Canada. Also, saveur simulé. Simulated
Fuck,
flavor.
Please stop.
Look, they spelled flavored with a U.
That's Canada.
That's
That's how you
Canada,
know
baby.
it's Canada.
That's how you know it's Canada.
All right, we must move on.
Yes, we do.
Pickle Joe writes, "You're talking to me about relationships? I'm Roy. You know me, right? I'll make you lasagna if you want, but..." The quote that made me literally laugh out loud in Asda as I listened on my headphones and everyone looked at me. I'm frequently laughing walking around the supermarket and I don't even have headphones on. Mo Deep writes, "I wonder if the Tim storyline, older woman seduces young boy, will be a precursor to the similar story involving Eva's son and a much older sports coach.
More about that later.
Yes, I happen to have lived in Hull for a few years, and I must say that someone not wanting to leave is the most unrealistic storyline ever." Thank you very much, Modeep. Fiona B writes, "We should start a roll call of weird places we, your humble public, are listening to your voices. I'm usually lifting weights in a narrow boat while I listen." I was dismayed to hear Gav say on the list of lists that he doesn't like boats. His dismembered voice is often floating around mine. Well, it's not so much boats that I dislike, it's the threat
drowning,
of drowning.
yes.
Yeah,
It's like people who don't like to fly. And it's not the flying, it's the falling.
it's the crashing into the ground at
Yeah.
high speed. So we've got lifting weights in a narrow boat.
Yes. And riding bicycles and grocery store shopping.
And a little more later.
I listen to it in my sleep.
And Cheeky writes, "What do I really say about Coronation Street that I haven't already said before? The Becky storyline is truly getting annoying. I love that both of you were correct about what was going on with Ruby and her torment of hope." That's
More on that
interesting-
later.
That's an interesting phrase, isn't it?
Torment of
The
hope.
torment of hope. I'm glad that the pub is now so integrated into other people's lives, and I'm happy to see Abby starting to move toward a future with Carl, because as far as I'm concerned, both characters can leave the show, and I'll be more than happy to watch them go. I accidentally read spoilers for things that are coming up, but I'm still excited to see just how integrated Eva Cakes and her family become in the street. And I didn't really like the fact that David was still messing with Kit, even though he had done very little after the Shona incident to get on David's nerves. I guess that's par for the course this time round. Hopefully these two can peacefully coexist at some point. Well, let's hope so. Thank you very much to Cheeky, to Fiona B, to Modeeb, to Pickle Joe, to...
Granny.
and
Michelle. Mabel.
Thank you very much indeed, folks, for getting in touch this week. And thank you particularly to Granny for the delicious food. Feedback's always welcome, and crisps are always welcome. And you know what? Even if they're in Costco,
Tim
Tim
Tams
Tams
are always
more
welcome.
than welcome. Send us your thoughts and I will probably read them out. Get us at the talk of the street at gmail.com, or our DMs are open at Corrie Podcast.
I did do a Tim Tam slam with at least one of them.
I didn't. I can't really do it. Or we love it when people write actual letters to us. Send us your proper mail to the Talk of the Street, P.O. Box 12, Eaton Rapids, Michigan 48827. Please note that we reserve the right to edit feedback, but only in the interests of brevity. And now... I resurrected that for the classics
Ooh.
for friends of the podcast.
Yes.
When we were doing November's episode, and I thought, you know what? I have cause to use this. Again, this was our hindsight corner music. This was years ago when we used to do things that we got wrong. And and we were corrected.
Right.
So with hindsight, we would have known this. Welsh Emma writes,
Uh-oh.
"Hello, had to get in touch as something has been niggling at me since I heard Helen being so taken with little Susie's accent last week. I'm pretty sure you both thought it was an Irish accent. Strap yourself in." Well,
I've been wrong before.
I've gone to the trouble of going back to Corrie from the 27th of October and listening again to Susie, and I don't hear even a hint of an Irish accent. She sounds far more generic northern to me. She doesn't have a Hull accent, which is very distinctive. Look up comedian Lucy Beaumont if you want to hear a Hull accent, and I have heard Lucy Beaumont's accent, and it's very, very strong. But it's definitely not Irish of any description. You can tell this has been bothering me. Rewatching any minute of Corrie is more than I can normally bear. Keep up your good work, even if your accent detection is poor. From Welsh Emma.
In my defense, remember when you used to watch that Irish guy on YouTube who talked about like true crime? Do you remember him?
Yes.
And I used to say, and I thought he was American. Do you remember that?
That chapter was his YouTube channel. He got a little bit too big for his boots.
Yeah, that tends to happen, especially with true crime. True crime people tend to get too big for their boots.
They do.
They do. Yes. But for the longest time, I thought he was an American. And Thin Lizzy, always thought was an American band. And they're Irish.
They are.
They are.
In my defence,
Uh-huh.
something that Susie said had what I thought was a bit of an Irish lilt to it.
Yes.
And because I was expecting her to be Irish, and because I had heard something that had a bit of a lilt, I just ended up hearing everything else that she said with that accent.
Yeah.
But listen back to it and listen to it this week. Yes, that child is not Irish. Consider ourselves corrected. Thank you, Welsh Emma.
She is pretty cheeky for an English girl.
And now we'll podcast for coffee.
What?
Friend of the podcast.
Physical mail!
We just got a letter.
Thank you to Jen.
Thank you, Jen.
Jen writes, "Hi, you can call me Calgary and Jennifer, as I'm from Calgary, Alberta, since you already have a Canadian Jennifer. So welcome aboard to our new friend of the podcast, Calgary and Jennifer."
Wouldn't Albertan be easier to say?
It is, I had to look up how to say that.
I've always wanted to go to Calgary.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
I started working, let's go back to Jen here.
Okay.
I started working at a fly-in, fly-out uranium mine in northern Saskatchewan this year. Well, fuck me. I think we might have a winner for the most random place
To
listening
listen to the podcast, yeah.
very remote. 12-hour days, 14 days straight, then 7 days back in Calgary for rest and relaxation, and repeat. It's intense. 84 hours a week is no joke. I needed more of your lovely podcast to keep me going through those long shifts. Welcome
Yes.
aboard indeed.
Yes. You could also listen to List of Lists, even though that's free.
Shush.
We must learn, we
Hey.
must figure out how to monetize that as well.
Being a friend of the podcast gets you approximately 3.5 hours of extra content a month.
I know, it's nice.
That's all right.
That's all right.
That's all right for a couple of bucks.
Yeah.
As Calgary and Jennifer, I'm sure will agree, as she now has access to all that lovely stuff.
Absolutely.
But not only that, welcome aboard to Caroline and Amy Metcalf as new friends of the podcast. I thought they already were friends of the podcast.
So did I. Like, wait a second.
I wanted to share with you the truth of a point you made during today's podcast. Yes, we listen while folding laundry, we listen while on planes, and we listen while enjoying puppy time. And here's your proof. And she sent some photographs of her lovely puppy.
Let me see this puppy. Oh, yes. What a lovely puppy.
I'm sure I have many more photos and videos of us listening to the Talk of the Street, but that's the best I can do to share right now. Well, thank you very much indeed, Caroline and Amy Metcalf. And to Jen, our new wonderful friends of the podcast. Welcome aboard, folks.
Yes.
We hope you enjoy the bonus content.
Absolutely.
The first example of that will be the spoiler alert show that will drop shortly after this one, but you have the back catalogue of all the bonus stuff
Yes.
to listen to in the meantime, including the classics,
And
which I think you'll enjoy.
even if you've seen the episodes and you've listened to the regular episodes, it's worth it to listen to the spoiler alerts because they can be quite funny. And also, I make siren noises with my mouth.
But don't let that put you off. There's also some banter occasionally, or what passes for it.
That was
Anyway,
the-
the Talk of the Street is and will always be free on your podcast provider and on the YouTubes. But if you think a show is worth anything more than the time it takes to listen to it in a uranium mine, bloody hell.
In Saskatchewan.
And if you want to show your appreciation, or if you want more weekly and monthly content, here are your options. Sign up to be a friend of the podcast for as little as $2 a month. Sign up at patreon.com/thetalkofthestreet, ko-fi.com, that's ko-fi.com/thetalkofthestreet, or hit the join button on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thetalkofthestreet podcast. Friends of the podcast get access to our weekly spoiler show, The Talk of the Street Spoiler Alert, and our monthly classic Corrie show, The Talk of the Street Classics. And if that wasn't enough, you also get a shout out at the end of every podcast and your name on the credits on the main show. If you prefer something a little less formal though, you can always buy us next week's coffee by going to ko-fi.com/thetalkofthestreet, and all links can be found at linktree/Corrie podcast. Remember, you can always support the podcast for free and get us in front of new listeners by liking, subscribing, rating and reviewing wherever you get your podcasts. All right. Bloody hell, that was a long preamble.
Right, yes. Well, we were talking about uranium mines.
We were.
And ketchup chips.
Our first storyline this week is Meet the Driscolls again. Do you know, I was worried that the Driscolls this week wouldn't quite live up to the Driscolls last week. We'll see if that was warranted or not. It's the morning after the night before, and the Rovers looks like a bomb's hit it when it sounded like, I thought they were going to tidy up last week, weren't they? Oh well. Ollie is still in his Freddy Krueger gear when Eva sends him to pick up Will. David is still sore about the ping incident and calls Ben a prick for playing rugby union instead of rugby league. He's so Yorkshire. Shona's already bored with this, and Glenda thinks the ping was hilarious. David comes into the pub for a lime and soda and to complain about the pinging, thinking it was demeaning. Eva Cakes insists it was an act of affection. Ben says it won't happen again unless David is a flump again. I suspect that David might well be a flump again.
Yeah.
Everyone leaves David
Daily.
alone in the bar, and Ben's framed rugby shirt suddenly comes into focus on the wall. Says David. So Ben flips the fuck out when he comes back into the bar, and the shirt's gone. David Flamin' Webster, he says, which I thought was quite funny because he doesn't quite know everybody's names.
Yes.
But when he gets them wrong, it's always somebody else's name.
Right. Yeah, that was funny.
It's not David Wilson that he said.
No.
But
It's somebody who's actually on the street. So he's close.
this was a shirt that he scored three tries in at Lansdowne Road,
Oh.
which is where rugby gets played, I
That
guess.
means nothing to me.
He goes to the cafe, and Shona doesn't think David would have taken it, but understands that Ben will kill him if he did. Eva reminds Ben that they promised that they would get on with the locals. Later, in a conversation with Glenda and Ben, we learn that the family used to live in Toulouse, and everyone speaks French apart from Ben, and Will never wanted to move away from Hull. But then Ollie comes in to creepily say that Will was a no-show at the train station. He drove to Manchester train station to pick Will up off the train from Hull, and Will hasn't shown up.
No.
Maggie reckons that he stayed in Hull, and this is all Eva's fault for wanting to move to Manchester. Ben gets on the phone with his coach, and Ollie hears from Will's mate that Will was in Hull in plenty of time for his train but must have missed it. Ollie doesn't think that he got on the train at all. And then David comes in, gulp, wearing Ben's shirt.
It's weird that it fits.
It's a little weird. And Ben gives him precisely 4 seconds to get it off before he kills him in it. David quickly obliges, realises that he's maybe not picked the best moment to do this.
Yes. In fairness, he has no idea that they're missing a child.
No. But he's lucky still not to get a ping for his troubles. To make up for it, David gets him on the street chat to put the word about Will. Ben's had enough.
Which, is this the first time we've heard of street chat?
We've heard-
We're fond of the plat chat, but I didn't realize that there was like a whole... Can you imagine if we had a whole street chat with our neighbors?
I don't know who any of them are.
You know who Janet is.
Oh, Janet.
And Marilyn.
I don't know her.
She lives next door to Janet. And you know Kenny Rogers.
He's not her neighbour.
Well, he's our neighbor down the road. These are
His
the
name's
people-
not Kenny Rogers, though.
I know.
So do I really know him? If I think his name's Kenny Rogers just because he looks like Kenny Rogers.
We just affectionately call him Kenny Rogers. We know that's not his real name.
Such is the sophistication of the nicknames that we dish out to people who live round about us. He looks like Kenny Rogers, therefore he will be Kenny Rogers forever. Oh, remember Kenny Rogers? He likes her dog.
He does, and he helps at the drive-through food bank that I volunteer at.
So you should definitely know his name.
Yeah, it's like Gary or something.
Isn't it Jerry?
Yeah.
I think it's Jerry.
I think it's Jerry. It ends in a Y and starts in a G.
I think it's a J.
I think it's a G.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
All I know is it's K for Kenny. So, Ben's had enough and heads off to Hill to find Will, calling Tim Kirk on his way out. That was quite funny.
That was
as well.
hilarious. Because Tim is very offended by this.
As he should be.
It's like, what? Just because we're both bald, you can't tell us apart?
Is Kirk bald?
Yes, Kirk's bald. He's like you. He has some hair, but he keeps it short.
Kirk's not bald.
Kirk's bald.
No, he's not.
Yes. He's balding.
Oh, how quickly we retreat from bald to balding when we see a photograph of him.
None of these
He's
look...
got a bit of a widow's peak thing going on, but he's got
and
hair up here.
His V is getting very, very deep into his head there.
Yeah, none of this
Balding.
detracts from the fact that he isn't bald, though.
Yes. But balding. Closely shorn.
Yeah, but I guess Tim doesn't look the brightest.
Right. And he did learn to read very recently.
Not very recently. It's recently.
More recently than all the other adults in the show.
That's certainly true.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, Maggie goes through Will's school bag and finds a love letter. She promises Eva Cakes that if anything has happened to that boy, she'll make her regret it. Remember we got correspondence last week saying that Maggie was already getting on their tits?
Yeah.
Maggie's getting on my tits a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. She doesn't really do anything redeeming this week.
No.
No.
And she can't rescue somebody every week from contemplating suicide.
Correct.
And without that, she's not got an awful lot going for her.
No.
It's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
When it
Even
focuses on the interference side of it, it's not great.
yeah, and even when she does things this week that are kind of nice to a person, they're not things that she should do for those particular people.
I'm liking Ben though. Ben might be a good character.
Yeah, still leaning into those Irish stereotypes though.
Yeah, it's far too much. On Wednesday, Susie is off to school while Eva Cakes and Maggie argue about whose fault it is that 15-year-old Will is still missing. Leanne thinks it'll be a girl. Typical Leanne. Eva secretly thinks Maggie is like every Les Dawson mother-in-law stereotype. I thought this was a brave thing for the show to do. When someone is a mother-in-law stereotype, for someone to say she's a mother-in-law stereotype.
Yeah.
It's drawn attention to the fact that, yeah, she really is just a mother-in-law stereotype.
Remember when Amy was pregnant and she said something similar about being a stereotype, a teenage mother stereotype?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The show is occasionally self-aware. But not enough to write characters better.
I approve. Maggie goes to Nina's Rolls and is already sick of talking to Brian. Roy tells a story about a missing boy who, it turned out, had been working all the time. Maggie has had enough of Nina Rolls and its inhabitants and hands out posters that use Comic Sans for Brian and Roy, then asks that they hang them up. Roy thinks it might be a better idea of posting them in Hull. And he's got a point. Again, nice little bit of self-awareness there, because I don't think if Roy had said anything, anybody would have questioned that. But
Right, yeah. Like, oh, well, just in case he does show up, this is what he looks like. Is it weird to you how we don't really see any of them doing anything about this?
they're just driving about and...
They talk about it. We don't even see them driving about.
No, they say they're going to go drive about.
They say they're going to go drive about. We don't see them go drive about. We don't see them on the phone with, like, the teammates or anything. We're just told that they were on the phone with teammates. It's like, if my kid was missing, I wouldn't be at work.
Well, they're not really at work either, because Ben's fucked off to Hull, and Eva and Maggie leave to wander about aimlessly for
Right.
some reason.
But
so who's
again,
running the pub? I think
in
it's Leanne. I think Leanne's looking after it with Lily.
Yeah, because she asked Leanne to come and sit with her. which is weird.
She wanted crisps.
And Lily. But it's also kind of weird that Leanne's watching Lily. I don't really understand that.
None of this makes any sense.
Why is Leanne watching David's kid?
Because the plot
Leanne-
dictates that
Leanne
Lily
is-
has to be round about the Rovers for some reason.
Leanne is no longer with Nick, so she has no ties to the Platts at all. And yet she's watching Lily. Why?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And Lily is like Sam's age, so she's like 14, 15, right?
It did strike me as
Why?
being weird to see Lily and Leanne in the same scene and alone.
Does Lily
But I
need to
thought
be...
maybe it's just weird because Lily's got a new head. Maybe that's what it is. But no, there's no reason for them to be together. I don't
And
think.
does Lily at her age need to be watched over while she creates a volcano? Which she's not actually, she's watching the movie Volcano, which I think they thought was going to be funny.
What, the people who made the movie Volcano? Yeah, no, I agree. Anyway, so people are away making busy while Will is somewhere. Who knows what Eva and Maggie are doing?
Like, we don't even see them with the police.
No.
No. If my kid's missing, the first people I'm going to call is the police. And the train station.
Later, Ben arrives to the pub with the police, and we see
finally.
Will loitering around outside on the phone to someone telling them of a problem. At the pub, Maggie calls Will's phone and it rings, so it's switched on so they know he's alive, or someone else who's alive has it.
Right.
Will sneaks into the backyard of the Rovers and gives Lily 20 quid to go in and bring out his passport.
Uh-huh.
Lily, though, who recognises him from the poster, so maybe
Right.
it was a good idea.
Yeah.
Even if it was Comic Sans.
Right.
Lily goes into the pub and immediately grasses Will up.
Yes.
But when Ben and Eva Cakes come out, he's already scampered. Maggie is a total pain in the arse as she cross-examines Lily on Ben's exact words. Now you tell me his exact words now, don't leave anything out. He said like 5 words to me.
Bring me my passport. There's a 20 in it for you.
Yep, that was it.
Basically.
Maggie's got a hunch that Will's not gone far. Fucking genius. Because he was just there, so of course he hasn't gone far.
No.
Eventually, Will just comes home anyway with his coach, Megan, who's a good bit younger and a bit more attractive than I think anyone was expecting. Megan explains that she found Will in the showers at the sports complex. Well, that's creepy as fuck. What are you doing in the gents' showers?
Up in hole. She's the coach. She has to go into the locker room.
So I don't have to go into the men's.
She does because she's their coach. Women coaches are in locker rooms, and women journalists are in locker rooms all the time.
Shouldn't be allowed. And drove him straight back to Manchester. Ben and Eva wonder why she didn't phone them or the police. And she's obviously got stuff to hide and says it was just also very stressful. And that does the trick. After Megan leaves, Ben wonders why Will wanted his passport and who this mystery girl is that they found out about in his school bag. Will focuses on the snooping and acts all indignant.
Right, and it's like, fuck you, kid. You were missing. We
Right.
had to find out where you were. Do you not understand how this works?
Ben is determined to get to the bottom of this, but Will doesn't go to bed, and instead he meets up with Megan and the Ginnell. Turns out that they're poking each other, even though Megan is a grown woman, and Will is a schoolboy, just like Tim and that woman from a few weeks ago.
And also, Addie and Courtney McBoobs.
Courtney McPoops? She's suddenly Scottish?
I forgot. I'm McBoobs. She's just Courtney Boobs.
There you go.
Sorry.
Megan's plan is for them to move abroad and tells Will to stop being such a loose cannon.
No, doesn't she
Bide their
say?
time.
Doesn't she say we can't go abroad? Why were you getting your passport, you stupid prat?
No, she wants to go abroad, but the fact that he got caught trying to get his passport draws attention to the fact. Everyone in this show thinks it's so easy just to move abroad.
It's true. They seem to forget they all voted for Brexit.
Right, every single one of them.
Every single one of them. Even the kids. Ken voted for Brexit.
Do you think
And Kev.
Kev did? Kev
Yes.
definitely did. Sally
Yeah.
did.
I would think that Sally would would prefer to be able to go abroad very easily.
She didn't think it would affect her.
Yeah.
She
No,
thought
that's true.
She thought it would affect everyone else apart from her.
Yeah.
So it was obvious when Megan's at the table that there's something fishy going on here.
Yes.
Because the story is so bad
Right.
that
Yes.
this can't be just the story that they're telling.
And if you listen to Spoiler Alert, you'll remember that I was really confused by this whole timeline. Because, like, we see him lurking in a gunnel, and then all of a sudden his coach brought him home, and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense, the way that these spoilers are written. I guess we'll figure it out next week, which we did. And
well done us.
Yes. And we would like the show to please stop when we say, oh, this could be interesting, repeating a storyline over and over and over again. Please, just
What do you think
stop.
of the idea that this could be a precursor for to dovetail with the Tim and whatever her name was storyline from a few weeks ago?
You mean Tim, who Ben thinks is Kirk, who's never seen Will a day in his life,
I know.
who's just being introduced maybe to this character? You think he's going to care about a kid who he's never met, and how a kid he's never met, how that situation might make him realize the situation that he was in when he was a child? You think that's how that works?
You're asking me? Well, I'm just asking you a hypothetical question. I didn't expect you to be such a cunt about it.
Hey! I'm not being a cunt to you.
That sounded very much like you were. No,
No, it's just... And again, we already had, the whole Addie and Courtney Boobs who, it was obvious the show thought that was a funny, fun storyline, and everybody said, ooh, gross, no. And then they're like, oh, well, maybe we need to write 2 very different storylines acknowledging that we don't find this funny and it is gross.
the problem with this one is
Nobody cares.
Tim doesn't know Will. We don't know Will.
We don't know Will.
We
don't know
Megan
Megan
either. So it was like, okay, so this young...
We also don't know Trisha.
Was it Trisha?
Yeah.
Well done.
The only person in any of this that we really know is Tim. I mean, and yes, it might affect Will's family, but the only person in Will's family we know is Eva, and I guess Ollie. Well done, the casting there, though, because Ollie and Will very much look like they are brothers.
They do.
So well done there. Give credit where credit is due.
Yes.
But the storyline is stupid. And I don't like it.
It's not so much, even if it's stupid, it's just that it's just so nothing.
Right.
Because you can't just drop a story like this on a new character and expect it to resonate, because it just doesn't.
Right, which is what we complained about before with, like, when Lauren was new. And we're like, oh, we're expected to care about this character, and you haven't given us enough to care about this character. Mm-hmm. And Brody.
Right.
Who we still kind of mostly don't care about because he still makes bad decisions. Mason, it worked. And then they killed him.
Yep. Well, maybe they'll kill Will and Megan as well. On Friday, Maggie's made a tippity-top Irish breakfast for Ben while Eva Cakes tells him to go easy on Will.
And also on the bacon.
Yes. Maggie agrees. Suspicious as fuck. Ben walks Will to the bus stop, who has now decided that he wanted his passport in case he needed ID. Yeah, ID so he could pass a port, perhaps.
Right, yeah. Doesn't he have, like... He's 15, right?
Yeah, so maybe like, a student ID or something.
Student ID or a learner's permit? When do you... Oh, no.
17 for that.
Isn't that crazy?
Nope. That makes perfect sense to me.
And yet you can drink at 18.
Yes. Will gets a call from...
And the age of consent is lower.
16.
Yeah, which is crazy to me.
There's some states here where it's 16.
I know, which is disgusting.
Will gets a call from what's-her-name, who has some news for him, but later. Well, what's the point of that, then? At school, Will hooks up with Liam, who's got food in his wee cheeks as he washes his ears. Don't washes his wee ears. The pair of them skive off, Liam not even thinking twice about it.
Yeah, it's hilarious. 2 girls walk by, and they are giving Will the eye, and Liam says, You want a bit of that? And Will says, not my type. And leaves it at that. And Liam does not poke that further.
Yeah, Liam must be thinking, he's
It's
gay,
gay.
then. Mhm. They head back to the back room in the pub and get wired into some beers. Will talks about his girlfriend from Canada, who Liam won't know, who his folks can't find out about.
Who eats ketchup chips.
Maggie comes in and discovers the beer, confiscates it. Liam offers to pay for it because he's a good kid, so Maggie lets him stay for his tea. And over dinner, Susie gets stuck into interrogating Liam about his plans for the future and
Where
what
do you
his
see yourself in 5 years, she says.
and what his crypto strategy is. The Neva finds the empties, knows it was Will and Liam, and tells Liam to phone Maria. But Maria and Gary are out
Maria.
of town, so it's Kirk who turns up to collect Liam.
Yes, he does.
And he's introduced to Maggie, who has some sussed as an idiot inside 20 seconds.
Yes, in locus parenti.
The atmosphere turns somewhat sour
Yes,
when
it does.
Eva Cakes and Kirk start arguing about Aidan and the past, so Liam thanks everyone for dinner and leaves.
Right, yes. And Kirk calls Eva a slag.
Will has never been so embarrassed and storms off to his room, so he does.
Right, because Eva says you're never allowed to hang out with that kid ever again. He's a wrong'un. And it's like, that's the nicest
That's Liam.
kid in this show. What are you talking about?
That's Liam. The worst thing that Liam does is maybe when he cleans his ears, it's a little
would
too
you
loud.
Stop that. That's a sweet kid. That's a good kid.
He's a lovely kid.
It's a very lovely kid. He offered to pay for the beers, for Pete's sake.
Mm-hmm.
It was very interesting, the fact that, Eva's tirade, she's like, it's one thing if your parents let you have like a sip or two of beer, like on holidays and stuff, but this is a licensed pub. We could lose our livelihood for you pulling this shit. And I thought it was very interesting to have that added point of view, because you don't really think about it because they're not on the pub side, they're in the house side.
Right. So
It's all pub though, all the way down.
he gets a message from Megan, this is Will, apologising for snapping earlier. Did she? Whatever. And promising that they'll be together soon, so long as no one remembers Tim's storyline. And that's as far as we get with that this week.
Yeah. Well done, Kirk, for standing up for Maria, though.
We get to see a little bit of fight in Kirk that we
I
don't
know.
normally see.
I loved it, because at first he comes in and he's his typical goofy in loco parentis goofball. But then, once it's someone that he loves and cares about, once his family is being, he turns.
Mm-hmm.
And that's nice. It's nice to see that side of Kirk.
Yeah, and he was given as good as he got.
Absolutely.
Yes, no, the side of Kirk that we see very often, and maybe we should see that
More often.
a bit more often. Yeah.
Yes, please. And also, his
Maybe as a precursor to
crippling
his
depression
crippling depression
story, yes.
storyline that he must be delivering soon.
right. Yes. If we keep talking about it, it will happen.
Right. I think it's that no one else is on this bandwagon.
I don't know.
I don't think anyone else cares.
Oh, I made Chris Anthony very mad because I said that because he loves the fact that I love Dennis. And I said that Dennis was what would happen if Kirk was written as a two-dimensional real character.
Oh, how dare you? Dennis is much
and he
better
said,
than Kirk.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Kirk could be Dennis if, they actually, or not Dennis, but closer to.
This conversation is making me very uncomfortable.
I love Dennis. I want his they bring ghosts back all the time. Can we please
They
have
do.
the ghost of tennis?
Ghosts are a thing. We confirmed this last year.
Ghost of tennis. Ghost of Dennis.
Ghost of,
Maybe.
Ghost of Dennis playing the Ghost of Tennis.
Maybe that's who's in Beverly Callard's house.
Yep. That's the callback that no one was expecting. Yeah, this all... I think it worked well last week. I wondered, maybe on the podcast, maybe on the blog, if ITV, with its current budget constraints, can afford to pay for the extras to fill the pub
All the time.
every week.
Yeah.
And it seems no, they can't.
No, they can't.
That's the answer to that. So again, we were back to a fairly quiet, but maybe busier than normal, but not slamming.
How can they afford to have that family every week? Because while they were sitting around having their tea, was a big old table. It's
That
like,
was a big
how
old
did
table.
they fit everybody in that family and Liam in one room? We've never seen that room so full.
So once it got away from okay, these are the Driscolls and Eva's back, and this is the first storyline that they're really giving them, where is this kid that we've never seen before?
Right, yes.
It's a very limp story for them to
And how
debut, if you like.
we're talking about how much we care about this kid and how much we need him to come back, but we're not doing anything except for talking in order to get him back.
Yeah.
Or talking to Brian and Nina's roles.
If
That was weird too. It's like Nina and Maggie, or Brian and Maggie hanging out at a table in Nina's roles talking to one another, and I'm like, how did this happen?
Right.
Is Brian suicidal as well?
Let me see the 5 minutes that led up to this.
Right, please. Can I see the 5 minutes? Because I don't know how that happened.
No.
I can't imagine how it happened. Unless, like, Brian said something, like, weird and pompous about Ireland or something.
I think
don't
Brian
know.
is probably the sort that's going to introduce him to a woman of a certain age on the off chance.
Hands off. That's Ken's.
Right.
We've already matched Maggie with Ken.
And we still don't know what's in that sideboard.
Brian, you go back to Mary, please.
So yeah, I feel like it's a weird story to give them as a kind of bedding in story.
Right. And again,
and I don't know that there wasn't enough, I think, from Maggie to make you think of her as anything other than just an annoying mother-in-law.
and an Irish
Needed a
stereotype.
bit more comedy in there.
Yeah. Yeah, but not too much because, again, Irish stereotype.
Right.
Yeah, and again, like we talked about last week, the best bits about last week, and Eva getting the pub and everything, was seeing Sean and Glenda and Lauren together,
That's right.
and we do not get any Lauren this week.
Yeah,
not at all.
It was the periphery.
We want Lauren. We want Glenda.
Do we?
We want Lauren in the pub. Yes.
Well, sure.
The pub humanizes that character. And
Right.
we finally found something that humanizes that character. Put her in the pub all the time.
Yeah.
Unless they do
Although-
another pub crawl with Sean and try to match him up with Gay Man and Grinder or
See, so
something.
it just felt like a bit of a damp squib compared to last week.
Yeah,
and that was always the threat. That was always the worry, but
Yeah.
it definitely went that way.
This is the sort of thing that you wait a couple of months after you introduce the new family. This is a
Yeah.
sort of storyline after we've established these characters and we know these characters, then you make their kid disappear.
Mm-hmm.
So we care.
Right.
We don't care. And also he's 15. If you were 10, maybe we'd care. I don't know.
Last week's show on the Yay Miss scale was the highest it's ever been for
Off the
Yay.
charts.
I don't imagine it's going to be the same this week.
No.
All right, we'll move on to our next storyline.
It
Cassie
ain't
on the
getting-
Switch.
It ain't getting an 8 for me this week, I'll tell you that much.
On Monday, Cassie's on the Switch, promising not to be herself. She takes a call from Kylian Mbappe, who's looking for a streetcar from the airport to Weddy County's ground.
And even I know somebody is winding her up.
She calls the ride to Tim, but then realises that she's been had, and it turns out it was Tim with a French accent who was testing Cassie, and she passed with flying colours. I wanted to hear Tim with his French accent, please.
Please.
Welcome to Streetcars. Meanwhile, at number one, Tracy's pissed off because Cassie has arranged for a case of wine to be delivered to Ken to make up for the special bottle that she drank from Ken and Deirdre's first wedding. Tracy goes to complain to Cassie about that, and when Cassie doesn't rise to it, Tracy deliberately unplugs the Streetcar's phone.
So, she did drink Deirdre and Ken's wine from their wedding. But I don't remember us getting to see that,
I don't
do
remember
you?
either.
It was in the spoilers, and they're talking about it now, but I don't remember it actually being in the show. You see Cassie drinking wine on the couch, but it never comes up that she drank their wedding wine. Isn't that weird?
Yes.
Especially since they're bringing it up now.
When they haven't had any calls all afternoon, they finally discover that the line is disconnected and realise quickly it was Tracy. Cassie asks Tim to have a word with her about this, but Tim is reluctant, even though she's harmless mostly these days.
Although, in fairness to Tim, he's also been trying to text Cassie on her actual phone, and she hasn't been checking that either because she's too busy reading about people getting tummy tucks.
Reading chit-chat.
Yes, and tummy tucks.
Back at home when Tracy...
Don't you feel like that's in poor taste, considering, Bethany?
No. Back at home when Tracy starts on Cassie again, she wonders if she killed Cal Nazir. Nice to get a mention of Cal there. And then reminisces about the ornament she used to smash Charlie Stubbs' skull in.
That was a nice callback, too.
Yep. Cassie tells her to keep an eye on the bouquets outside her shop because you never know what might happen. On Wednesday at number 1, Cassie and Tracy are still niggling each other. Maybe a little bit too much.
Yeah.
About everything, and it's already getting a bit old, which is a shame because there's an awful lot more of it to come.
Yes.
Cassie wonders if Tracy is so keen to get shot of her and Steve, why is the divorce lawyer taking its sweet time?
Yeah.
Tracy pretends to be
Excellent
mystical
point.
about it and then has a go at Steve going after the flower shop. Ken is up and he's a bit poorly, and it's
He
Cassie
is.
who phones the doctor.
Poor weekend.
Tracy gets a bit jealous of all this until Cassie tells Tracy to take Ken to a 1 p.m. appointment, seeing as her dad comes first, isn't that right? Tracy's fucking furious.
Yeah, she
And
is.
she goes to get Ken's tartan blanket. Cassie goes to work, but it isn't long until Tracy in her cream winter coat arrives. In a roundabout way, she lays it on thick about Ken not being a spring chicken, and maybe Steve and Cassie will look to move soon, and maybe it would mean less stress all round if Cassie gets Steve to give up trying to get his fucking mitts on the florist. Cassie is affronted that Tracy would stoop so low. Oh, forget it, says Tracy. Up yours with a twirling lawnmower. And she heads back home to get wired into that vino that Cassie bought Ken.
Right, yes, which Cassie stupidly says, don't you dare drink that wine.
It's super expensive.
And then Tracy says, I'm going to drink that wine.
Now, Homer,
It's
don't
Malbec.
you eat this pie. So she gets
Now,
Marac.
children, don't eat these marshmallows.
So she gets Maracked on the wine. And when Cassie finds her passed out on the couch, Cassie uses a lit candle to burn the tablecloth and then raises a fire alarm, calling Tracy a stupid cow for good measure.
Unfortunately, Sir Patrick Stewart does not arrive to put the fire out.
Make it so. She could have burnt the whole place down and neglected her duties. Thank God Cassie came in when she did. Tracy quickly hides the evidence and goes to check on Ken while Cassie looks smug. Later, when Tracy sees Ken and Cassie chatting, she assumes Cassie's grassed her up and ends up confessing all. But Ken had no idea what she's talking about.
Right, yeah. All Cassie does is says, what happened to the tablecloth?
Cassie says that she hadn't said a word.
Cassie is really good at this.
She is. Ken is super disappointed. Oh, Tracy.
Oh, Tracy.
Tracy admits that she's been dropped by her divorce lawyer because she can't afford them, but she still refuses to proceed and give Steve half of the florist. And she threatens to stay married to Steve for the rest of her life, if need be.
Right, yes.
And that's as far as we get with that.
And also, all of a sudden now she's not interested in streetcars? Because let's remember, this whole thing started because she wanted to take half of streetcars. If she had never said, I'm going to take half of streetcars, it would have never put into Steve's mind to ask for half the florist.
No,
It's all her own damn fault.
she didn't realise what everyone who watches the show realised, that Streetcars is probably worth nothing.
Yeah,
And Steve only has half of it.
right.
So she'd only get a quarter off nothing.
Right.
And then she didn't realise that by her bringing this up, the natural progression is that Steve should go after the florist.
Right, yes.
Which is probably worth a damn sight more and is all Tracy's.
Right. In fairness, I don't think Steve on his own would have realized
It was
this.
Tim.
It was Tim, yes. We've already established is very, very smart.
Smartest man in the room.
That's right. Even when he's not there.
Did the back and forth between Cassie and Tracy get on your nerves a little bit? It's just bickering and bickering and bickering.
A little bit. And, but again, it was very much one-sided, a lot of it. a lot of it is just Tracy going after Cassie.
Yes.
And Cassie just kind of smiling like the Cheshire Cat at her. Because, she likes winding Tracy up because it's so easy. It does make me wonder why it's so easy. Maybe there's something to this whole Tracy is sad that she doesn't have Steve anymore line of
I
questioning.
think she's just sad that she doesn't have anybody. And she's just taking stock of her life. Here she is. Probably not that far off 50. Living with her dad.
She owns her own business and she has a white coat.
Everything's coming up Tracy. I don't know. I think maybe there is something that she... It's not that she maybe wants to be with Steve. She just doesn't want Steve to be happy with anybody else.
Right, yeah.
Because she's petty like that.
She is petty like that.
I do enjoy seeing this side of Tracy come through. Because God knows we went an awful long time without seeing any of this side of her. And at this point, I don't think she's at the stage where she's going to kill anybody.
No.
So it's a fairly safe level of animosity that she holds against Cassie. Maybe that won't last for very long, but for the moment, it's probably still more meant to be amusing than anything else.
And it is funny because, she complains about Cassie supposedly manipulating her dad, with buying him expensive wine to replace the wine she drank. That's just a nice gesture, Tracy. But the fact remains that Ken does prefer Cassie's company to Tracy's.
Cassie can even drug Ken to the point where he might die.
And he still prefers her to
Right.
Tracy. And Cassie's the one she is the one who takes care of him. She brought him the blanket. She made him some lemsip.
She calls him Kenny.
Did you enjoy the little cup of lemsip?
I love a lemsip.
You do, even though it's called Theraflu here.
It's not the same. It's not the same. It needs to be called lemsip.
And she's the one who gets the blanket. And then when she says to Tracy, you need to take him to the doctors, here Tracy's been complaining about how Cassie is manipulative and everything, but then she doesn't want to take her dad to the doctor. She has to be talked into it. And it's like, have you seen yourself in the mirror, dear? Have you noticed that maybe there's a reason why you're miserable?
Good point. All right, we'll move on to Sucks to be a Webster.
Really does.
On Monday at the Rape Hotel, Carl offers to look after the hotel's business accounts. Debbie thinks this is too much, but Carl points out that she did think he was doing special push-ups with James last week, so maybe it would be prudent. She leaves without making a decision one way or the other, and she goes to speak to Glenda and the Rovers and talks to her about giving up the hotel. Glenda doesn't allow her to spout this pish for long and tells her what an incredible businesswoman she is, and she's still got most of her marbles. But if she needs some downtime, maybe that's not a bad idea. So Debbie goes back to the hotel and tells Carl that he can be in charge of everything apart from the finances.
Right.
The one thing that she's still got a grip on. Oh, pig's tits, says Carl. This is the one thing that he wants.
So yeah, it's the one thing he wants, so he can steal it all.
On Wednesday at Nina Rose, Debbie wants Carl to check the flush strength of all the toilets, which isn't the sort of job Carl had in mind. He changes the subject and suggests that she takes it easy now she has all this help. Debbie doesn't know how. Carl sees Ronnie later and lays it on thick, suggesting that Ronnie suggests to Debbie that she needs a break and maybe should wrap it up in a suggestion of a wine tour trip or something like that.
Right,
Something
so
with a
it's-
view of freshening up the wine list at the Rape Hotel.
Right, yeah, make it a business trip.
Ronnie likes the cut of Carl's jib. Back at the hotel, Debbie's now keen on a break and has found the ideal trip. But when she nips off for a shite,
Which seems really unbelievably cheap.
it's 150 quid for a tour of seven
Wineries.
yeah.
Yeah, is it 150 pounds per winery? Because it can't possibly be 150 pounds for all
in.
seven.
Right. So she nips off for a shite, and Carl goes ahead and books it on her phone, telling her that she was the one who did it, and she must just not remember. Debbie, somewhat uncharacteristically, falls for this and gets quite upset. Carol urges Debbie to tell Ronnie what's going on, but Debbie says she hasn't a clue. Later, Debbie tells Ronnie And he thinks that going off for a break and sampling some vino is just what the doctor ordered, just like Carl suggested. This was Carl's suggestion, says Debbie. And Carl tries not to look like a chuckle brother with something to hide. This does mean...
Even though he is a chuckle brother with something to hide.
This does mean that he'll get access to the business account, right?
No.
No chance, says Debbie. She'll take care of all of that remotely. Wah, wah, wah. I am wondering if Debbie's onto him. That was the clue, that this was all Carl's idea.
Right.
And this isn't the only idea that Carl's had. Carl's had this great idea of helping out the hotel and taking over the business accounts.
Right, yeah.
And isn't Carl in need of some money? Wasn't that a thing in the summer? Maybe if I'm putting two and two together here, I'm starting to become very suspicious of Carl's motives
and also,
here.
Carl's no longer working for Kev, and Abby's no longer working for Kev, so Carl and Abby need money, and Carl is not above theft.
Yeah, I wouldn't be entirely surprised if Debbie is actually just stringing them along, because it looks to the world that that's what she's doing. Every time she gives him something, but doesn't give him what he wants. Then gives him a little bit more, but still doesn't give him what he wants.
It's the toilets. That was the clue to me. Go and check all the toilets in the hotel.
Check their flush. That sounds like a made-up job, doesn't it?
Their flush strength. Yeah.
How's he measuring that?
By flushing them and making sure that they flush all the way.
And that proves their strength?
Yeah, that proves that
proves that they flush.
Right, yeah. And if they don't...
But not measuring their strength, and that's what she specified.
If they don't flush correctly, then you need to fix it. And actually, supposedly, he did fix a toilet. And he's so proud of himself that he watched a YouTube video and was able to fix a toilet so they didn't have to call Ed in. Because he's like, isn't that Ed's job? And she's like, no, that's not Ed's job. Ed doesn't work here regularly. He only comes in when we need him.
And when somebody needs to get electrocuted in one of the rooms.
Right, yes. Or, Billy's back is out and he's in the bathtub.
That was a private job. On Friday, Jack is going off on a trip to Italy today.
To play football.
But he's worried about Kev being on his own in the dark.
Eating crisps.
Abby comes along with a present for Jack, some aftershave. But he isn't interested and tells her to suck on his balls. Abby goes to speak to Roy, and it seems Alfie has destroyed some of Roy's priceless trains. So now Abby's totally feeling like prick of the week. Prick of the week.
Prick of the week.
But has plans to move into Lauren's old flat at the precinct. Later, Kev's sitting in the dark eating crisps when he gets a note from Jack asking for daily updates on his activities, and this seems to be the impetus that Kev needs to turn a light on. Later in the pub, Kev overhears Abby tell Roy that she and Carl have successfully leased Lauren's flat, and he leaves in a hurry. Is he going to do something? Because I think she said something about she gets money off because she's been sober for so long or whatever, and that's how they can afford it. And she's also sold her rings, and that's how she can afford it.
Right.
But he's overheard this, and
yes,
he's nasty enough to do something about that.
I'm more worried that he might do something to himself.
That beard's coming on.
Why, thank you.
Yeah, the collars and cuffs don't match, unfortunately.
It's my Viking blood. You have no thoughts about the idea that Kev might do harm to himself?
No, I don't think so.
He's laying on the couch in his pajama pants, watching...
He'd be doing that anyway. The only difference is the light's off.
Watching, reality television, eating crisps, and not working at his garage.
Well, that's a new way of saying that word. It's not quite garage, and definitely not quite garage.
It's somewhere in the middle.
Right.
It started out one way in my mouth, and it just ended it up in another.
That's what she said.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, because Tyrone's not working there.
No.
Carol's not working there.
Nope.
Abby's not working there.
Nope.
Nobody's working there.
Nobody's working. Maybe Brody is working there.
Right.
Brody's doing all the work all by
himself. He's the only one
himself.
that showed up.
Brody is doing that John Travolta meme from from the
Pulp Fiction.
from Pulp Fiction. Where he's-
What? Which way? What, this way?
That's Brody.
And there's a sign on the garage door saying eating crisps. And crisps is spelt wrong.
Watching reality TV and eating crisps
In the
in my
dark.
pajama pants in the dark.
Maybe, do you think he's at risk of hurting himself?
I don't know. They're doing their damnedest to make that man look very, very depressed. And I feel like if he was going to do something nasty to Abby, he would have shouted. He isn't even shouting
He's a
anymore.
shouter. He is a shouter.
He's not shouting. He doesn't shout at her about the aftershave. He doesn't shout at her for
No, he
selling her
doesn't speak to her.
rings. Yeah. That makes me suspicious.
Yeah, you could be onto something. We'll move on to the most racist careers fair in Manchester. Just a few scenes on Monday about this.
Just a
Yeah,
few.
Just a few scenes.
Just a few.
On Monday, Dev is nervous about his visit to see Asha in the mental hospital. He takes her some flowers, and after some jokes to hide how she really feels, she's obviously relieved to see Dev. They chat about the future, but Asha is scared thinking that far ahead. She needs to focus on getting well,
Right now.
and that's all that happens.
Absolutely.
So last week, was it last week or was it in the
was last
spoiler
week.
alert? Was it in the spoiler alert? Where it's like, oh, I'm amazed that we're getting to see some of Asha.
In the-
because normally
right.
she'd go at the hospital and then we
wouldn't
don't see
see
her
her.
until she comes
Yeah.
out. It's like, oh, we're going to get to see her. But this is really just a tiding over. I think now this is probably going to be it until she's somewhat better, I guess.
Yeah. But it is nice. It is nice to see Dev go and visit her in the mental ward.
Mm-hmm.
She's wearing a nice sweater. She looks really cozy.
She did, and she's such a fine actor.
Yes.
Because that joy at seeing a familiar face, and also maybe a bit of embarrassment
Yeah.
about how much he knows and,
And also
everything that's
the
going on, and
Also the fear of being rushed, potentially.
all of that I felt was conveyed in just a couple of scenes.
Yes, absolutely.
Really, really good stuff. All right, we'll move on. Home, no help. This was just on Friday. Hope's running late for school as Ruby announces that some kids have been cruel about her phone, saying it's cringy and clapped, and she wants another one. Fuck that, says Tyrone. Hope we get a new one, says Ruby, and she storms off.
Also,
And she's right.
she is right. And also, Ruby thinks that Hope wears too much makeup.
Later, Fizz is furious because Tyrone has spent all their money on video games. He claims that he thought they were free trials. A likely story.
Yes. And also, he's so very sad.
And he blames it all on being stuck in this damn chair. Fizz goes off to see if she can get some overtime to earn the money back.
Can I ask? Because this came up in my head this week while I was watching these episodes. Where does Tyrone sleep?
In that chair? Or on the floor?
Or on the couch? Or is Fizz carrying him up the stairs every night? Do they get like Steve and Tim over every night to
Good for
carry him
Tim.
up? Well, one takes the head and one takes the legs. I'm assuming. It's just I'm looking at that flat and I'm like, this flat is far too small for them to put like a hospital bed or something in there.
Oh,
But there's
right.
no way they're carrying Tyrone up the stairs every day.
No, and there's no jetpack attached to that chair.
No. And also, isn't the bathroom upstairs? Do they have a bathroom downstairs? I don't think they have a bathroom downstairs. So what happens when Tyrone is in the house by himself playing video games?
He messes himself. I guess.
It's like I'm watching the show and I'm like, wait a second. None of this makes sense. They haven't really thought through putting Tyrone in a wheelchair.
He sleeps downstairs. I'm sure that's the... But show us that.
Yeah, on the couch? Because that
Yeah.
couch can't be comfortable. It looks like it's diagonal. Like he'd fall over.
Oh, sure, he's going to fall over, but that'll be where he lays his head. They should show you that. They should definitely show you
Right,
that.
or them pumping like an air mattress up every night for him to sleep on the floor, which would be more comfortable than that couch.
Oh, I don't know. Don't know about that. Anyway.
Sorry for my digression
where
into
we get to-
reality.
Yes. Tyrone's lying about how much he spends on video games.
Yes.
Hope comes home and is getting horrible messages again saying that her clothes are cringy and clapped.
What?
Says Tyrone. So,
Cringy and clapped. And Hope is like, oh, Dad, this is what cringy and clapped means.
this is what 6-7 means. So, he has a word with Ruby when she gets home from Little Big Shots, which is still a thing.
It's still a thing.
And it quickly works out that she's Hope's bully.
Yes.
And she doesn't deny it.
Yeah.
She says that Hope gets everything, she protests, just because her dad was a freak. And Ruby says if it was her who needed new trainers, Ty wouldn't be in a wheelchair right now. And that cuts to the quick.
Oh, that does cut to the quick.
So Tyrone takes pity on her and says that he doesn't have to tell Fizz if we can draw a line under this and these messages stop. But later, it turns out that Fizz has already called the police about this, and by Tyrone's reaction, Hope quickly susses that Ruby is a guilty party.
Yeah.
All hell breaks loose. Why do I have to be the one to fix everything, says Fizz.
Yeah, because she's all indignant that Tyrone didn't tell her. And it's like, wait a second. Let's not forget last week when you didn't tell Tyrone about this whole situation to begin with, madam. And also, she is very quick to be like, she like has no curiosity as to why Ruby would do this to her sister. You know, at least Tyrone's like, Ruby, why would you do this? And Ruby explains.
Yes.
Which
sit you down here.
allows Tyrone to be a little introspective, and that's why he chooses to say, all right, let's just draw a line under this, because he knows better.
They're dreadful parents, though.
Right.
This
yes.
has been maintained, which is good.
But it's hilarious because it's like Tyrone and Maggie have both gone to the don't ask, don't tell school of parenting, because let's not forget that she pretended that she drank 4 lagers all on her own.
Yep. Just like my own granny.
Earlier in an episode. But yeah, Fizz won't even allow Ruby to explain, and I feel like if it had been the opposite, if it had been Hope yet again,
Oh, right.
then and Tyrone was acting the way Fizz is acting when it's Ruby, she would give Tyrone an earful about how dare he like not give Hope the benefit of the doubt. So Ruby is actually 100% correct in all of this.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. And it's nice that the show is finally acknowledging that.
I really like the sort of complexity, if I think I'm picking this up right, that when Ruby says that if it was her that needed a new pair of shoes, Tyrone wouldn't be in the wheelchair, the insinuation being that Tyrone wouldn't have gone out to buy her shoes.
Right, exactly.
And I thought that was really cleverly done.
Yes. And the way she kicks the chair. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Boots it.
Yeah. And the
Fuck you.
The look on Tyrone's face.
Oh.
Yeah, no, like he realizes that what she's saying is absolutely correct. Unfortunately, she doesn't get to say any of this to Fizz, because Fizz won't let her.
If they hadn't just recently got married and got back together again after the whole Alina Popped stuff, I would say that we're heading towards a Fizz and Tyrone breakup story here.
Maybe we still are. Maybe,
I don't think so.
Maybe if we wish hard enough, we'll get Phil with 2 L's back. I miss him.
It is now 7 months since Alina dropped Doran off with him. And she's never been mentioned since.
Where is Doran?
He was standing on a stool last week, I think.
Yeah, he's not anywhere to be seen this week.
That's fine. We'll see him. We can hear him. He's hiding.
Is it Doran who's carrying Tyrone up the stairs?
But no, Alina's never been mentioned, never even been breathed about. Thought about.
Nobody wonders, I wonder when Alina Pop is coming back for her child.
Oh well.
We'll get a letter at some point saying she's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would be a shame because I really like Alina. Our next storyline is Shona Up the Duff. On Friday, Shona is super pregnant now, and it's her and David's
All of a
6th
sudden.
anniversary.
All of a sudden.
David's got her beer that she can't drink. One of them's NA. But he's winding her up. He's such a japester.
She's stolen the package from the doorstep at Todd and Theo's house of Theo's kid's fake belly.
Oof. That was a stroll, wasn't it?
Remember, she bought one and then
Yes,
it
yes.
never showed up.
David's booked a table at the restaurant that's 20 feet away. So later
Yeah.
at the bistro, Shona nips off for a shite as David discovers that he doesn't have a booking for tonight. Turns out that he booked it for tomorrow. Well, the bistro, though, is surprisingly busy, and
Yeah,
Nick suggests
every
that
table
David,
is full, conveniently.
that David takes Shona for a kebab instead. Post-shite, Shona discovers the snafu and is livid. David tries to nick Sarah and Kit's table for tonight and then just invites him and Shona to join them.
Yes.
And the meal is awkward AF, and it isn't long before Sarah catches wind that there's a family sweep.
And Kit
about how long
orders a
Kit-
tomahawk.
I know.
I didn't even know they served a tomahawk at the bistro. And
It's not on the menu.
And it comes on a wooden plank.
Yeah, as it should.
Yes.
There's a family sweep about how long Kit and Sarah will remain together, and even Audrey's in on it.
Of course she is.
Kit becomes defensive when talk turns to the future, and everyone fucks off to the Rovers. David cancelling his table for tomorrow as Nick bursts into tears. And
Right.
that's as far as we get with that
He,
this week.
he stuffs money in Nick's pocket.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, don't forget the tip. Oh, wait, no tip.
Because Nick was being an asshole.
He was.
We can surely fashion a table for two somewhere.
He doesn't even offer them the bar. They could have sat at the bar
Oh, they could have sat in the kitchen, a little
or the office.
kitchen table. Right. Maybe not all that romantic, but
You think the kitchen's romantic?
depends on who's chef.
Yeah. I mean, because this isn't the first time. This is something that happens every time that Sarah has a boyfriend. Because they had one with Damien as well. Remember that? This came up with Damien as well. And Adam, I'm sure.
Probably.
And also the dead guy under the stoop and others. That was Sarah's boyfriend, right? The dead guy under the stoop.
Helen, you must be mad if you think I'm going to answer that.
You know who I'm talking about.
I'm going to move on instead.
Was Sarah dating the dead guy under the stoop, or was that her husband, the dead guy under the stoop? Or was he in the backyard?
I'm not sure what a stoop is.
You
We'll
don't know
move
what
on
a
to our final
stoop is?
storyline. The lonely grave of Tia Wardley.
Stoop is that
On Monday,
cement.
Carla is still pissed off at Swain and Becky kissing, and Swain refusing to answer whether she and Becky would be together if it wasn't for her. Swain insists that she isn't available, and the argument is postponed when Ryan returns from Ireland with a tan.
Right, yes. Even his scar tissue is tanned.
Yeah, I give it a year, and that's going to be totally gone.
It's going the way of Nina's gothness.
They chat at the factory later, despite Ryan not working there. Carla admits to her fears about Swain and Becky running off to the Alicante sunset. Ryan dismisses her fears and makes some noises that he misses his family in Ireland, so maybe he won't be here for very much longer after all. Meanwhile, Becky shows up at number 6 and Carla makes it clear to her that she's yesterday's chip wrappers and she should be 6 feet under where she belongs.
That's right.
Becky makes it absolutely clear that she intends to win Swain back because Swain loves her, and she spends a bit of time talking about all the clothes that Swain has that she bought her. Carla doesn't kill her, which is a shame because I think she'd get away with it considering that she's supposed to be dead.
Right.
There's some sort of double jeopardy thing or whatever.
Right, yeah. And also, she still wears a shirt you bought her before you died? Do you think she just threw away all of her clothes after you died? This is such a weird flex.
And Carla had said something to her, and she said, "Oh, don't what are we, school children here?"
Right.
And then just behaved like an absolute baby for the rest of the scene.
Yeah.
They're so weird.
Ugh.
Carla tells Swain that Becky has come back to reclaim her and wants her on a fucking plane away from here pronto. And maybe it would help if Swain told her that.
Yeah, maybe.
So Becky is called back and makes another play for Swain and then drops the bomb that Betsy's going with her to Spain. She hasn't got a visa, and after 90 days will be dodging immigration folks. So
Right, yes. It's like, Becky, when you died, it was before Brexit.
take her. Have a ball, says Swain. Becky leaves to let Swain think about it. Betsy has the ridiculous notion that they could all move to Spain. Carla too.
Right.
That's so not going to happen, says Swain. I'm not moving to Spain, and neither's Carla, because you may have noticed we all hate Becky.
And also, we have jobs. Jobs we like.
Later, Carla, Swain and Ryan are chatting about this. Carla remarking that if they can get Becky a villa, they can get Betsy a visa. Obstacles aside, Swain is worried that Betsy won't come back if she goes, and Ryan, who has lived there, tends to agree. And everyone's thinking, what's the downside to this?
It's hilarious. Ryan agreeing. And yet, remember when, like, he spent a whole year pining for Ibiza?
Oh, God, he just went on and on about Ibiza.
Let me tell you about Ibiza again.
I used to DJ in Ibiza.
Yes.
At Manumission. At the Ministry of Sound.
Spin some tunes.
On Wednesday, because I'm 52 and the only clubs that I can think of are Ministry of Sound and Manumission. I'm not sure that Manumission is one.
Are those even clubs in Ibiza?
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been worse. You could have said, like, Studio 51. Or even Studio 54. Or even CBGB's.
On Wednesday, Betsy is given Carla the silent treatment, which I guess is a punishment of sorts. Carla
Right. And Carla is mocking her
Yes.
for it, which is hilarious.
Carla is all for putting Betsy first, but reckons that she and Swain need to be on the same page and also think of themselves. Swain doesn't know what she'll do if Betsy goes to Spain. Oh, there's a list. Later, Betsy goes to the factory and makes another pitch for Spain to Carla. They could go until the new year, and Carla seems to give it some thought. Back home, she announces her idea to Swain, which is for the two of them to go off on a Spanish tour and leave Betsy in the less than capable hands of Becky.
Yes.
When Becky finds out about this, she's livid and admits to Betsy that she doesn't think Carla is right for Swain, and she ruins everything. Betsy isn't having any of this and says Carla has been great for the family while Becky was dead. When Betsy gets home, Swain wants to talk about Spain, but Betsy isn't in the mood
Swain in Spain.
and goes upstairs, which makes Carla and Swain
Falls mainly on the plane.
think she's about to drop the whole Spain idea.
The Swain in Spain falls mainly on the plane. By George, I think she's got it.
By George, I'm not entirely sure. On Friday, someone has been stealing Swain's hand cream. And
Right.
that's the end of this week's episodes.
Betsy and Carla have been stealing Swain's hand cream, which
This is
is
interrupted
hilarious.
when Betsy gets a call from Becky that she dingies. Add this to the reluctance to talk about Spain, and maybe she really has gone off the whole move idea. Meanwhile, Carla has an appointment with her wedding dress designer, and Swain looks a bit iffy about this. At the cop shop, Costello thinks that Swain could get done for bigamy here. Swain wonders what is more serious, that or faking your death. Costello thinks that the only way that this can work is by getting Becky to fuck off to Spain. Costello seems to say that,
Now, this is ridiculous.
notwithstanding the fact that Becky has a death certificate,
And is legally dead.
that even if that's true, Swain would still get done for bigamy because she knows that Becky isn't dead.
How can they prove that she knows that Becky isn't dead unless, like, they take a picture of the two of them together?
Well, I guess the fact that they're having that conversation proves it.
Well, that isn't going to stand up in court because Becky's not in the room when Costello is talking to Swain about this. He'd have to.
I don't know. I think
But the whole
Swain's
thing
on
is-
a very stronger footing than she seems to give credit to.
Right, yeah. And it's kind of ridiculous, this whole conversation, because it's like, oh, we've just remembered that if we brought back the dead character, that means that they're still married, even though she's legally dead. Only we're not going to worry about the fact that she's legally dead. We're still going to say you could get done for bigamy, even though she's legally dead.
Swain heads to the
But you
factory.
can't get a divorce because she's legally dead.
Swain heads to the
It's a
factory.
catch-22.
Swain heads to the factory and the meeting with the wedding designer, but tells Carla privately that there's no way she can avoid the bigamy charge if they get married because Costello said so. Basically, Costello says that we're not allowed to get married.
Right, and she's already suspicious of Costello. So why is she just swallowing this whole?
Carla thinks that she's joking.
But I like
Swain isn't joking. The wedding's off. Carla is fucking furious about this.
Yes, she is.
And wonders if Swain is just trying to buy more time to decide who she wants. Swain says that she's not, but Becky is an immovable object in this whole thing. And I absolutely agree that Swain's intelligence seems to be, I don't know,
Slowly draining out of her ears.
left in the flat that is currently underwater with some drowned cats in it. It's just, where she used to be clever, and people saying, "Oh, well, she's never been." She has. She was.
She was very
She was
clever.
great, and she was
That's
sharp.
why we loved her.
She was
That's
sharp.
why she became a regular character, is because people loved her because she was so sharp.
So she threatens to go above Costello's head, and Costello says, "Well, on you go then." And that seems to say to Swain, "Well, I can't go over your head now." Oh, wait a minute.
Well, no.
What?
She can't go over his head because whoever's over his head thinks that Becky is dead. Which doesn't make any sense if she was really undercover.
Here's the problem. Not enough people know that she's not.
Yeah.
So blow the whistle,
Yeah.
Swain.
This is, yes, this is exactly what needs to happen, is more people need to be aware that Becky is alive and is, Swain's former wife.
So Carla's fed up with all this and fucks off. Becky goes to see Betsy and says that she doesn't really have a problem with Carla after all, because that was Betsy's problem, apparently, was
Right.
that she wasn't happy about what Becky was saying about Carla,
Right.
and gives her a Spanish phrase book. Betsy then invites Becky to Swain and Carla's wedding, but
That's
what?
not your job. You don't invite people to your mum's wedding,
Becky
sir.
says it would blow her cover. Also, shut the fuck up, Betsy, you stupid cow. Inviting your Swain's ex-wife to Swain's wedding is weird. Swain gets home and stupidly
Especially
tells
since she's supposed
Betsy
to be
about
dead.
her falling out with Carla. Meanwhile, Becky is meeting Costello in an alleyway of doom somewhere,
Yes.
and he has booked her a one-way ticket to Alicante. This, I think, is the second plane ticket that he's bought for her,
Yeah. Where is he getting the money for all these plane tickets that don't get used?
and tells her if she doesn't fuck off, he'll kill her himself, just like he did to Tia Wardley.
Dum dum dum.
And this momentarily shuts Becky up.
Momentarily.
We learn that Tia Wardley had a ketamine habit, sure, and the Anton deck offed her, which is convenient.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, I wanted more from the Tia Wardley thing.
Tough.
I know, this is it. We get the Tia Wardley thing that we deserve. Costello says,
Surely Tia Wardley has a family somewhere, right?
no, she's on
She
ketamine,
didn't-
Helen.
She didn't just spontaneously generate from the earth like a Greek god.
Costello says Becky dragged him into this while she ripped off the biggest drug gang in Manchester, even though he got a handsome payoff.
But not Harvey's.
He tells her to get on that plane and it's not up for debate. She says that she needs more time. No way, says Costello. So she starts threatening Costello's kid and insists that she won't leave without her family. She runs this. It's her call. So that's a bit brave, isn't it?
Yeah.
Later, Swain goes to
Especially
the factory.
since she's supposed to be dead. So if she shows up dead, nobody's going to care.
No. Dead woman still dead. News at 10.
Yes.
Later, Swain goes to the factory with Becky's death certificate for some reason and says that she'll marry Carla in an instant. Carla says it's either pee or get off the pot.
Yeah.
She needs commitment. And she tells Swain to tell Becky to fuck off or she's packing her bags.
Yep.
And you can keep your stupid Spotify password. On their way home, Swain runs into Becky and tells her to stop turning up on her doorstep and that she's marrying Carla no matter what. But when Becky turns tail, Swain suddenly comes over all sheepish. And oh, don't be like that. It's like, oh, geez, just let her go.
Shut up.
Later, Carla's eyes roll so hard that they nearly burst out of her head when Becky is back with a cock and bull story about being followed by Curtis's gang.
Right. And she comes in through the back door dressed like Justin Bieber with her hoodie up
Yep.
and dodging around. She looks exactly like Justin Bieber circa 2010?
Sure. Saying that she's in danger. Betsy wants to go to Spain right now.
Bullshit.
Swain wants to call the police, but Becky says
What will the police say?
you can't do that and asks if she can stay the night. Surprisingly, this is allowed. Carla tells her that she's on the couch and then goes upstairs muttering the word cunt under her breath with every step. Later, Carla comes downstairs to find Becky on her laptop with headphones on and sees her on her mate's socials like she doesn't have a care in the world.
Right. Why is she still on her mate's socials if she's been dead for a few years?
Becky claims it's intelligence gathering, and it turns out she's on Costello's socials looking at pics of his daughter like a total midnight creeper.
Right, yes, because a police officer wouldn't have all of his social media private to family.
I think it's the daughter's page. But even so.
Yeah.
That's how we end this week's episodes. Oh, I'm so sick of this.
Oh, I just want it to be over.
So sick of Becky.
Right, because it's so obvious. It's so obvious. Lisa tells her to fuck off. And that's when, all of a sudden the gang's after me. Can I stay on your couch, please? And nobody says, wait a second. If they're after you, you can't be here.
Why are you here?
You're putting all of us in danger, including your daughter.
Yeah. The only one who seems to have kept a semblance of their intelligence is Carla.
Right.
Who's standing with her arms folded. I don't think believing a word of this.
No.
But doesn't feel like she should say anything to that effect for some reason. But this is the whole problem with this story right from the start, that if this is a thing, and if she's still wanted by this supposed gang,
right,
then why is she there? Why does she continually go there? Why did she go to the pub with them? Why is she in the precinct with Betsy all the time?
Right. Why is she going shopping?
For someone who's keeping a low profile, she's keeping a pretty high profile.
And where is this money coming from? Because she's constantly bringing a bag with a brand who I don't know's name on the front of it.
I think it's made
buying shit for Betsy. It's like, where does she get the money from? Because obviously she's not working because she's dead.
Well,
does
she's
she still
loaded
have
because of all this
all
money.
of that money
I presume
from
so.
Spain?
Mm-hmm.
Where is she keeping it?
In her dodgy Spanish bank account, I would imagine. But this was the interesting part of it was that I think what we've all assumed for a long time, that obviously Becky's bent and Becky's corrupt and Becky has done exactly what we imagined her to do.
Right.
She's stolen all this money.
Right.
And she's fled to Spain with it and apparently living it up.
Right. And paid off Costello.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so Costello's not the head of this.
No.
She paid him off.
Yeah, she says that she's the head of it.
Right.
So I guess that was kind of interesting.
Was it?
Kind of.
Really?
Not really.
Okay.
Just looking for something that I can hang on to with this.
There's nothing to hang on to. There's.
But I don't think the reason that she's come back is to get her hands on this trust anymore.
No. I think she came back because she saw that Swain was getting married.
And that's it.
Yeah. I think that's it. She didn't care as long as Swain was like the grieving widow.
Mm-hmm.
But now that Swain is moving on with her life, she can't stand it.
And now she wants this happy family after 4 years.
Right, yeah.
That one has to presume she lived without quite happily for most of that time.
Was it not creepy as fuck when Costello is like, oh, I'm sure you can find some lovely senoritas for yourself? It's like, is this a 1950s comedy with Bob Hope? It is not.
No.
Why are you talking this way, Costello? Lovely senoritas.
The other good bit of casting is Costello's daughter looks exactly like Costello. I don't know if it's just the glasses or not, but I think they've cast her pretty well.
Or at least her picture.
Or maybe it is his actual daughter.
It could be. It's like how they use like younger pictures of the actors in movies.
So they turned the tables on it because Costello's very much, I'll kill you if you don't get on this plane. And she's like, well, maybe I'll kill you then.
Right, or I'll
More
kill
or
your
less.
daughter. That's she's threatening the life of his child.
Mm-hmm.
So this adds. Becky's not just annoying; she's dangerous, which I think is worse when you're annoying and dangerous than just annoying or just dangerous.
Right.
And I still don't understand how there were two huge drug gangs in Manchester at the same time, and Mason's brothers were working for both of them. How does that work?
They outsourced the goons, apparently.
Right. How does that work where you're working for, I'm assuming, competing drug gangs, and nobody has murdered them yet? Ant and Dec still live? That doesn't make any sense either.
And that means that they're murderers then.
Right. Which we knew because they murdered their brother. Even if it was an accident, they murdered him. And it's just like, why didn't they just say it was Harvey's gang? I think everybody would have believed it if and that's already like an established gang in the show. Why create a second gang? Why complicate matters?
Curtis's gang. It's not even a good gang name.
No,
not that
Curtis?
Harvey's. Not even that Harvey's.
Right, yes.
A great name, but
You think rabbit, don't you? Or, rapist.
right.
Rapist, rabbit. It depends upon the time of day.
Curtis, I think, of the guy that wrote 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Or like Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, yeah. Her drug gang might work. Yeah, I could get behind that.
I could get behind that, yeah.
I thought that was really interesting that
They can't afford extras in the Rovers every week. They can't afford Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jan McVery was on the Stateside Street podcast last week talking about this and how in the writer's room she thought this was a dreadful idea. And it's somewhat heartening to know that there were people
There were people in the room
on
saying,
the inside,
guys,
in the room at the
this
time
is not a
saying-
good idea.
And I think she suggested that it was mentioned as a joke. She never mentioned, I don't think, that it was like ripped off of Reddit.
But it obviously was ripped off of Reddit.
But the fact that not everyone was behind this idea, I think speaks volumes.
And the fact that like the writing is just so bad in the storyline. It's got to be a man in the room who imagines that lesbians fight over hand cream. Who used up all my hand cream?
Yeah, I could believe that.
Who used up all my hand cream? That would never happen if they were married to a dude.
You've
Although
got 3
you do
women living in that house. Of course they're fighting over hand cream.
There's 2 women who live in this house and we never fight over hand cream.
I fight over my shaver with a boy. So it's the same thing. It's possible.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah. But if you're writing a show, are you writing dialogue like, who used up all my hand cream? Oh, it was both of you. That's hilarious.
It's just a whimsical way to
It was
start.
dumb.
There are so many more things to complain about than that bit of it.
No, but it's all bad. It's all bad. They shouldn't be using Reddit as
I don't think it's...
ideas.
I think it's given Carla a reason to be angry, which I'm 100% behind.
Yes.
I don't understand.
Although...
Swain's reluctance to completely sever ties,
Or
I
to-
think is because of Betsy.
Or just even
Betsy's
to,
so deplorable. Just let her go.
or just even to believe that Becky's intentions are not good.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you have to know that they're not good. And
Every
you know,
indicator
I
that you
was
have.
giving her the benefit of the doubt that she's saying this to Carla, but inside she knows better.
Mm-hmm.
And she does finally like bring the hammer down this week. But then immediately Becky's like, oh no, I'm being chased by the gang. They found me. And just immediately, okay, you can sleep on the couch. No,
No.
no.
All right. Well, That was the week that was Coronation Street. Helen, what was your moment of the week?
Now, I'm going to surprise you.
Uh-oh.
Because this never happens. Never happens that we give moment of the week to this character. But I'm going to say Kirk standing up for Maria to Eva. It's my moment of the week.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
No, but you seem to agree with me a little.
No,
Well, you're about ready to push the button.
I don't care enough to argue it. And I don't think there was any real standout moment this week.
Yeah, for me, that was a standout moment because it's like, oh my God, they're making Kirk a real person.
Fair enough.
And also, Team Maria.
We'll get letters, but that is our
Moment of the week.
Moment of the week.
boring moment of the week.
Oh my God, I had one and now I can't remember what it is.
I hate it when that happens.
I hate it. Brian and Maggie talking to each other? Doesn't Brian say something boring about Ireland?
I think we need to be
It's-
more specific.
Or is it Ken's blankie? Kind of liked Ken's blankie in the Lemsip.
I just think it was the whole Will and Megan stuff.
Is it them arguing over his passport? Or no, it's Megan calling and saying that she has something important to tell him, but not right now.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll
That's
do it.
For a moment of
Whew, we got there.
Yep,
we
get
got there in the end.
We absolutely did. If you think about something long enough, you'll always come up with something that was boring in Coronation Street.
Correct.
Yay!
On to our poll for this week's episodes. Now,
We really need to change the meh.
nope,
Because it should be meh, not meh.
noted. But let's see how much of a fall from grace we have from, I think it was 83 or 84% last week.
Yeah, it was in the 80s.
This week, Z is 28.3%, Meh is 37.7%, and Yay is 34%. So quite the drop off, and it seems to have mostly gone, I guess it's evenly distributed, really. But Meh is just about enough to edge it as it stands at the moment.
But not like that.
Holly writes, Becky gets more and more insufferable each episode. Have rarely disliked a soap character more. Eva's rose-patterned nightwear is up there with Sarah's leather skirt. Kev's looking like an out-of-work Roy Keane with that beard. And I hate Carl gaslighting Debbie like that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Mike says it was okay. If it wasn't for Eva and her new family, it would have been boring. But they have delivered since arriving. Well, they did last week, sure. But we don't let those scores or those thoughts influence our scores for the week. Of course, Helen, that would be ridiculous. So what is your score out of 10 this week?
5.5.
5 for me. 5 straight in the middle.
Yeah.
Pretty disappointing.
Yeah. I want the pub employees bantering every week.
I don't
Every
think that's
week
too
we
much
need
to
banter.
ask for.
I don't think it's too much to ask for at
Have
all.
some banter every week.
Yeah. Even if it's just two of them.
Yeah.
They really should have two people working that bar at the same time. Even when it's quiet, somebody needs to be washing the tables.
Right. All right, let's wrap this one up then. This episode was brought to you with thanks to our friends of the podcast. Daisy, French Helen, Pickles, DT, Wendy, Noel, Canadian Helen, Christy, Shandy, English Victoria, Aurora Yvonne, Heather Westerfield, Russell Whiting, Jackie B, Brittany Porter, Laurie Anna, Tina, Stephen, Leah, Tara J, Fiona B, Canadian Jennifer, Josephine O'Tingy, Anne Greenwood, Trish R, Sarah Purbrick, Ali Q, Hunker Munker, Darren, the artist formerly known as Seal My Fridge, Pamela, Marsh JT, Tom Ambrose, Christopher Anstey, Terry Nelly, Joe T, Corey Dales, Matthew McKenney, Ozzy Alley,
Oi, oi, oi!
Welsh Emma, Matthew S, Rachel B, Calgarian Jennifer, Caroline and Amy Metcalf. Whew. If you've ever fought over hand cream, write in to tell us about it. We're the Talk of the Street at gmail.com and we're at Corrie Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads and Blue Sky. Or you can reach us the old-fashioned way, the Talk of the Street, P.O. Box 12, Eaton Rapids, Michigan, 48827. Our spoiler show will be available shortly after this one. And in November's classics, we're talking about episode 630. It's one with a fancy dress party.
Ooh.
Get access to this exclusive content by becoming a friend of the podcast at ko-fi.com/thetalkofthestreet or patreon.com/thetalkofthestreet. Check out voggle.co.uk for links to our merch store, YouTube channel and blog. And if you're so inclined, please leave a rating and a review on the iTunes or your podcast provider of choice. And be sure to check out our pop culture sister podcast, The List of Lists.
Doc, you're telling me you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
Thanks for making it to the end of another episode, and we will be back next week with more
A Talk of the Street.
The Talk of the Street.
Bye.
Cheerio.